Hello again, viewers, and welcome back to the FPL podcast, the Kotu Classic FPL podcast. You see, so it's been a while, so I'm Rusty Chama. Welcome back to the pod, man.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah,
It's the
welcome.
new season, man. Yeah,
The new season is here. Is
finally,
here.
finally.
Yeah, finally here. I don't know we are ready for it. Or excited with all the new signings at United and all that.
I know.
Uh,
Yeah, well, we'll talk about the fan corner. It's like when you start a new season, you're excited. Everything is like you wiped out the last season especially for us. It's like last season didn't exist,
yeah,
so we
that's
hope
a good thing, right?
we don't continue from last season. You want a fresh new slate, clean slate. We don't want to have anything to do with last season, man. We're looking forward to a brighter future. That's why I'm wearing my jersey today. I feel like a Man U fan. I feel like a Man U
Definitely.
fan today.
I,
Yeah.
I feel you. I think on both sides of the coin too. If you are also at the top, you are quite excited how
Mhm.
much you can develop, and then you are
Yeah.
excited. You won last season, and then coming into the new season. So it's a fresh start for everyone. Usually, a
Yeah.
new start for every team. So it's gonna be exciting in the first few weeks. Hopefully, if your team does well in
I
the first
mean,
few game
we
weeks, that
we
also
don't have
helps.
a choice, man. We have to start the season like running. We have to really like get ahead because it's just one game a week. But anyways, we'll talk about that in the fan corner.
Definitely.
So yes, first episode, game week 1 preview, 2025-2026 FPL season. So we are recording today. It's like Wednesday here. It's about almost 10:24 here in US, California. Timestamp Japan.
Yeah,
What do you
224.
guys say?
Just
224.
midday.
Thursday.
Kind of
Yeah.
Thursday. Yeah.
All right. So this is our first episode, obviously. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of changes in our team. So that's why I call it the boss team. But before we get to that, we have 3 segments. We have the first one, which is like the preview, which we'll talk about right now. There's not much to talk about, so we talk about the fixtures and then talk about like our predictions, basically, player of the season, young player of the season, just to keep it fun to see whether we get anything right at the end of the season. So we'll do a review at the end of the season. So that's a long way from now, anyways. But then we'll do our predictions, top 5 teams. So that's going to be interesting. I'm sure you're feeling pretty confident. So yeah. I'm sure you're feeling confident. So you guys, anybody you ask now, they say, oh, Liverpool's going to win the league because
which
obviously,
I don't like, which I don't like too much.
well,
Because we are on the spotlight too much. I don't like
yes,
that.
you
But
have to be on the spotlight. You have to be on the spotlight because
of course, we
like
decided
nobody
to win.
expected you guys to win, and then you came out, and then you won, and then you went to the transfer window and just got
And then
like the most
we
exciting players. So obviously, you can't hide, man. There's no hiding for you guys.
There's no hiding place. Yeah, that's right.
There's
That's
no
right. I
hiding.
agree.
Yeah. So first things first, let's just share this real quick. No, not this one. Yeah, well, it's kind of mixed up, but yeah. This is the fixture difficulty that we are sharing. Ooh, not the right one. Why is it failing me right now? Yeah, there we go.
That's it.
Yeah. So we have from game week 1 to game week 6. It's a bit all over the place, basically. I've been looking at different sites, and just to see which one kind of like comes out. But this is the closest one to the one that we have on the FPL site, basically.
Mhm.
So game week 1, I think if you look at this, Nottingham Forest and Tottenham, they have like the easiest fixtures, obviously, depending on what they consider as easy fixtures.
Mhm.
So yeah, game week 1, let's discuss. I mean, Liverpool. Bournemouth, I mean, it's not an easy game for you guys, is it? But
Yeah,
but it's
judging
winnable.
by
It's
last
winnable.
season, by how well Bournemouth did, I think it's not an easy fixture. But um, they are also in a transition. But I think both teams are in a transition. Strangely
Yeah,
enough,
yeah,
Liverpool are in a
definitely. Yeah,
transition.
yeah.
Bournemouth are in a transition because the squad is
Mhm.
quite new for both of them. The players, I don't know the Bournemouth players at this moment in time, so I
They,
don't.
they lost they lost about 3 of their defenders.
Yeah, key players,
Keke is gone.
including the
Yeah,
goalkeeper,
Hoisin. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They lost
Hoisin is
Kepa and then they
who?
lost
Kepa, yes,
Hoisin.
exactly. Yeah,
Kepa
Hoisin,
Hoisin,
Kekes.
Zabania, the two central
Yeah,
defenders, and then their left back.
it's crazy.
So, and
Yeah.
these were the best players in their team, to
Mhm.
be honest.
Yeah,
If,
yeah.
especially when it comes to the back, these were the best because the right back was not a position that was any like you will see this like It's not a player we would talk about. They are right back, but the left back, the centre backs, they were
But
on the list of every football fan because of the how good they were. So to lose the core of that, I think is a big transition for them. But you never know. They are very smart in the market. They usually buy well. I know they have bought one or two players to cover this defense. They bought a left back. They bought a new centre back from Lille yesterday or during this week. They are, and it was a lot of money they paid there. So I don't know what to expect from Bournemouth, but given the fact that they have lost all those important players, you can only fear for the worst rather than be too optimistic about what they will bring come the season. So I think it's a good fixture for Liverpool. But yeah, you are talking about Forest and Tottenham. Tottenham yesterday we saw what they played the Super Cup. I think they were quite impressive from what I see, but unfortunately in the final few minutes of the game, they threw away a two-goal lead and they ended up losing that game. They have a new manager. They are also in a team in transition, I would say, but they have the best fixture. Burnley coming up, they have been one of the best defenses coming from the Championship, so it might not be easy for Tottenham, but on paper, I think that is the easiest one, along with Nottingham Forest, because of Brentford. Also, they are also another
they
team
lost,
with the manager.
team,
They lost the manager, so yeah,
lost
a lot of
to
unknowns.
one of their key players in Bournemouth. I predict most of these teams, this let's say mid-table teams might struggle this season because most of them have lost like either players or managers, and it always happens like when you have two or three teams that are doing well in one season, next thing you know, all the top teams go and do their shopping in these teams, and then they have to start all over again. But yeah, I think most of these mid-table teams are going to kind of struggle a bit, especially the Brentfords, the Brighton. I think Brighton is okay. They haven't lost many players like that. But then
unless
Forest,
if they lose their midfielder, Baleba, which you guys are interested.
we need
I
him.
don't think you guys can buy him though. But if they lose,
we can't buy him. The problem is, are they going to let him leave? Because
no, but
anyway,
we'll
talk about that. We talk about that in the fan corner. But yeah, there's a big chance. We don't go into these things without giving it a good shot. But yeah,
okay.
Most of these mid-table teams, I think, are gonna kind of struggle a bit this season. And the ones that actually made it, like I think Aston Villa's, Newcastle, and I think Crystal Palace, they are now in Europe, and that's gonna stretch the team. So you need a really good bench. Like the way Chelsea played last season. They had like almost 2 or 3 teams. You need a very good stock of players to actually compete very well, or else you're just going to focus on one, and then the league is going to struggle. So you have to pick your battles whether you want to make it again or give it a shot. Well, But yeah, like you said, Nottingham Forest, I think they have the best fixtures. Tottenham, obviously, those are the two. The rest you can go either way. Sunderland, West Ham. I think Sunderland, they have a really good team. West Ham, I don't think
they
made any really
they spent a lot of money.
Sunderland, I'm hearing that they're signing. Zaka is there now. He's the one that I actually heard about. There's some other
they bought Adingra. They bought this player from Senegal,
Adingra,
Jara,
yes.
Who is really good. The Jara they bought from which club did they buy from? From France. Senegalese guy. He's super good. I'm sure he's not gonna stay there for long because of how talented that player is. So yeah, they have bought well. Bringing some experience as well as some talented players, mix of both. So it's a team to watch out on. I was interested in going against them in the first game week, but because of the players they bought, I was kind of skeptical about it.
It depends. Sometimes we've seen this before, where the team that's promoted come in with some like 6, 7, 8 players, and it's going to take a while for them to gel. Obviously, they look good on paper, but then it depends. If there's too many change in the team, obviously it's going to take a bit of time. And next thing you know, the manager is being fired, and whatever. But yeah. Which other team? Everton, Leeds, also, and that's another interesting one.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, but because Leeds, the way they play, they can be so good, they can be so bad, and they are coming. I don't know what to expect from them. They are a very cultured team, I would say. They are very passionate with their fans. So getting the first game at home against Everton, despite Everton, with their new toys as well, the Grealish,
They've bought a few. Grealish is going to be interesting.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's going to be
Dewsbury
interesting.
Hall. But
Yeah.
the fact that it is going to be on Leeds stuff makes it a tricky one for me to call where it's going to fall. So that's why I kind of avoided that fixture as well. And even if I was backing out, I do back Leeds over Everton in that first fixture because of like these are just that type of team. They are always up for, especially these first games of the season. I can remember when they came in the last time, the first game I think we played them, and it was one of the best games of that season. When Liverpool, when I think Salah scored a hat-trick.
Attack. Yeah, that was a good. Yeah, that was a good game. I
Crazy
remember.
game. So
I
I don't know how
remember. High
Everton can deal
scoring.
with that. Exactly.
Yeah, high scoring game. Um, which other one again? I think Man City play Wolves. Wolves have lost Cunha, who is one of their best players. In the last few seasons, I don't know how that's going to affect them. I don't know. They signed. I've not been keeping up with them.
They signed
Man
someone,
City have
Arias, from
Yes. Okay.
Fluminense. He was at the Copa America, the Club World Cup. He was really good, I understand, for the Brazilian team. So he came in and take Cunha's position. And a lot of people are talking good things about him because of how good he was at the Club World Cup.
Yeah. Okay, Man City they did their transfers. Early in the window, and now they've been linked to Donnarumma. So, yeah, it seems like they're just going about their business, under the radar a bit. To be honest, I don't know what to expect. I just know that Rodri had an injury. It's not the same injury, but probably something else. But he might be back, like I think in a month's time or something like that. So
after the first international,
you might be sleeping, on Man City, but it might be also working to their advantage that we don't have much expectation. But Haaland is still there. We all know what he's capable of, obviously. So
yeah.
The rest are kind of like the rest of fixtures: Aston Villa, Newcastle, Arsenal, Man United. Nobody knows, but yeah.
Nobody knows. Yeah, United can come out of the block,
yeah,
and then,
I mean it's at home, so yeah. If it was an Arsenal, but it's at home.
That's why it was tricky for me.
I don't know what to expect. Yeah, even I don't know what to expect from my team.
So that is the difficult part of this game week one, though. Like a lot of games, you don't know what to expect. Plus all the unknowns. There's a lot of unknowns. Plus the fact that the fixtures are quite, on the balance. So you don't know what to expect from those fixtures. That is why it's going to be really tricky to pick a team. That's why I think people are struggling to come up with their team, to finalize their team in this first game week. It's even going to be harder for those who are planning to bench boost, which of course we'll talk about later. But I try to ignore it. Difficult. But I kind of understand that issue is there. But I try to override it and then try just do what I want. But anyways, we talk about
game week, game week 2. Obviously the ones that are glaring is Arsenal Leeds, obviously at home. I think home to Leeds, Bournemouth Wolves, Burnley Sunderland. So these are the
and Burnley Sunderland is again. Burnley Sunderland is on the balance. You don't know what.
Two promoted teams.
Two promoted teams. You don't know what to expect. So only those two fixtures probably, and Bournemouth, like we say, we don't know really what to expect. Are they going to be really good? Are they going to be, until we watch them against Liverpool, maybe. And even that one will not tell us much about Bournemouth. Maybe when they play against Liverpool, the game will not tell us much about how they. So the game against Wolves is quite in the balance. So game week 2, I think Arsenal with that fixture is the
obvious one. Yeah, that's the obvious one.
It's the only
Aston Villa Brentford. Aston Villa Brentford is also something that's like Yeah, I back Aston Villa to actually do better. But Everton, Brighton, I think Brighton.
But the
also,
fact Brentford is gonna be at home too is another tricky thing. Yeah.
Game week 3, we have Aston Villa Crystal Palace. The two green ones are Man U Burnley, obviously a promoted team. I think you fancy Man U to do better to do well in it. I think this is actually in the top 6 in the first 6 games for Man U. This is like the most promising one for us. The rest I can't tell you, to be honest.
Not so much, yeah.
Not so much, yeah. Sunderland Brentford, those are the 2 games, and then you have the other like much darker green than this one. But yeah. Which other? I think 4, 5, and 6. They say Crystal Palace, Sunderland, Fulham, Leeds, Newcastle, Wolves. That's 4 game week 4. Game week 5, Fulham, Brentford, and then Wolves, Leeds. Game week 6, Man City, Burnley, Nottingham Forest, Sunderland, Tottenham, Wolves. So it's not like it's it's obvious for any team, right? It's
No,
just like
there is
it's a
no.
bit difficult.
There is a bit
Yeah, this is
difficult.
it was a bit difficult, man. Honestly, this is the first time I'm actually looking at it like in depth. I was like, yeah, this now I see why I see so many different teams in FPL, so many different
Yeah.
combinations, different teams. Because yeah, it's like, well, you just put the best, assets there and see what you can come up with. So the template is going to change pretty quick, in my
Mhm.
opinion.
And then if you
It's
look
going
at
to
it,
change.
I think even Chelsea we are talking about has the better fixtures. Their
It's
fixtures are
not
kind of middling.
kind of
Crystal Palace
tricky,
is
yeah,
easy. West Ham
yeah.
away again is a derby.
Brentford
London.
away,
Then you have
yeah.
Fulham, Brentford, Man United away is not good, and then Brighton at home. So
Brighton,
they are all
yeah.
tricky fixtures for them. Even though you can say they are kind of decent fixtures that where you will not be scared to play the Chelsea players in these fixtures.
Yeah, they
But
might get
they are
something.
not.
Yeah,
They are not the they are not the Wolves at home. They are not
outright,
the
yeah,
Leeds at home.
favorites
The
for
Sunderlands at
in
home.
all these ones.
So
Yeah,
they don't
that's
have
true.
that. They don't have that. So
Yeah.
there is no team or any big team having that kind of
Mm-hmm.
run. There is no
Yeah.
good team having that kind of run. So if you talk about Arsenal, Man United, or Chelsea, or the big teams, I would say Tottenham, Man City, even Newcastle, like they don't have this like good 2 or 3 games run of good fixtures. So it's gonna be a thing of go here, go there, hop in, hop off, like they say.
I mean, just follow the trend until a template emerges, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to our predictions and our awards. Let me just get this. So what's your prediction for the player of the season? Who won it last year? Who won it
Of
last year?
course, yes, there was only one winner, obviously.
Salah?
Of course, there is nobody
Salah, right?
competed against Salah last
Yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah.
So
Salah, yeah. Of
he,
course.
he was outright favorite, win the leading goal, golden boot, win the
Golden boot, yeah.
assist king, break the FPL scoring record, like number of goals in a season, number of goal plus assists in the season. He was like he was on a league of his own last season. I will not say he will
You
be
can't ignore him,
I
man.
will not say he will be the same
Can't
this
ignore him.
season, but I would just go for the easy one and I will stick it to him again. For me,
Salah.
just be boring and say it's gonna be
Yeah.
him again. I know he has not started the preseason well, miss a back-to-back penalties, and which is kind of good for those who play patient in the FPL, or who, I would say.
There's some
Like,
doubt. There's some
like
doubt there that
yeah,
he
because
might
some
not
people
be the
will just
Salah.
watch that and then they will change their mind. Of course, if you didn't have if you didn't have the idea to put him in your team,
Yeah.
maybe there was another reason you had for not putting him in your
Yeah.
team. You understand? But if it is because of what he did against Crystal Palace or missed those
Mhm.
two penalties, the reason, then maybe maybe you should check. But for me, I would just take it to him for the player of the season again. I don't think he will have the same numbers that he had last season, but I still
Mhm.
believe he will get close. He will get close to having another great season. Because he has not done anything to suggest otherwise since he came to Liverpool. So I would expect him to have another great season with Liverpool, and I will back him to be up there for the player of the season as well. How about you? Who are you banking your money on?
Man, this is it's tough. Even though I know I came up with the questions, but I was like, if it's not Salah, who would it be? I think we're going to be surprised this time around. The issue is if you identify who's going to win the league this
Mhm,
season, that's where your answer is going to come from.
mhm. And
Um,
who are you backing for the league?
man, this is. I mean, obviously, the obvious choice is you guys, but I
Uh-huh.
feel like Chelsea. I think we'll get there. Chelsea. Hmm, Man City. You never know if things click. I'll say the player of the season will be Haaland. I just want to keep it
Haaland.
boring too. Yeah, I think he'll probably have a resurgence, and then they'll. I'm not sure they're going to win the league, but they'll probably challenge and give you guys a run for the money.
Mhm.
And I think he's hungry enough to go back to the heights that he already set. Those targets that he set in his first and second season.
Fair enough.
Best young player of the season.
Young, yeah.
That's
Let's define young for us. What is young
I mean, let's say 23 and on the
and
23
under?
and under. 20,
Okay.
23, yeah, 23 and under,
Again, let me be a little bit biased here. Let
yeah.
me be a
Are
little
you
bit
going
biased.
for all your guys?
You know, but with also a strong belief, that this is gonna be a big season for him. It's gonna be Yankuba. I will back him. I will back Yankuba to have a big season. He
Yankuba
has
Minte?
been,
Oh man.
yeah, Yankuba Minte. He has had a wonderful preseason, and last season was more of an adaptive season for him in the Premier League as a player, and he left his mark in the Premier League after that season, especially against the big when he played against the big boys. That was the Uniteds, the Chelseas, even the Man Cities, Arsenals. These games, he left his mark there. Newcastle, where he came from before joining Brighton. So the big games, he was turning up for them. The problem he had was he did not turn up for the smaller games. He only scored one goal. Against the teams below, against the teams outside the top six. Of course, United finished below the bottom half of the table. So if I say that United is in that list, but against the lower teams, understand the lesser teams in the Premier League, that was against Leicester. He got that goal. Other than that, he did not score against any other, small team in the league, and that was his problem. And this is something that I believe will change this season. If you watch the preseason game, they played against Southampton. I would term Southampton in that category. He was unplayable on that day, even though Southampton were a little bit defensive. And then from his interview in that game, I say a post-match reaction. He was saying things that I like to hear. He understands the problems that he had in the past, like in terms of he was not relaxed enough when he was in front of goal, or he was a little bit hasty, and he could not deal with teams that sit back defensively or low blocks. And this was something that they were working on with him this season. At the end of the season, I also did something on him to review his season, and that was something I pointed out. I sent it to him, and he watched that, and so I believe he will improve on that category, terms of dealing with these smaller teams. For the big teams, I don't think he has any problem.
Yeah, they give you the space. So obviously, if they're playing the bigger team, the big teams, they are like the smaller teams. So they defend and then play. So there's a lot of space to attack. Yeah,
he's like when it comes to
Breaking,
transition play, he's up there as he's really good in transitional play because of his speed and his power. So I will back him to have a big season. Do what you did last season against the bigger teams, and then make sure you find that consistency against the smaller teams, and all of a sudden you will be a talk of the town because he's a top player. He gives you something going forward and both defensively. So I'm sticking with him. Bias one, but I believe in his abilities.
Okay.
How about you?
Mine is Joao Pedro. I don't know, how old is he? Is he more than 23? He'll be young, right?
Joao Pedro is still quite long. He has been in the league for a while.
He's been in the
I think it's because Chelsea only sign young players.
Young players, yeah.
How old is he? 2001 born. He's a 2001 born.
He's 23. He's 23. Yeah, he's 23. Yeah. I think it's gonna. Well, it's funny because when he was at Brighton, he's an okay player, right? But he's not like a consistent player. But anyway, we still have a lot to go. The jury is still out. But so far, since joining Chelsea, he helped them win the Club World Cup, right?
Very
and then
player.
in preseason, it's like he just continued from where he stopped. And he's taking his chances, and they're creating more chances for him. Chelsea always create chances. That's the thing. They will create chances for you. So I feel like it's like probably like the best match for him. And nobody even saw this coming, that if you go to a team like Chelsea, he can like up his levels and become a better striker. And I feel like he's going to do really well for them in all competitions, basically. So I've always been a fan of his. It's just like now some Chelsea has gotten him, and it's like, man, it seems like they were made for each other. Like Chelsea and Joao Pedro is like the best team. But yeah, he's my pick for young player of the year.
Good player. I like him. I like him a lot. He was a bit injury prone at Brighton in the end, but hopefully,
I was in another team. Yeah,
in another team a few times, sometimes a bit of an ego.
But I mean,
it's because of his character. He that's why he's good.
He wants the best from his team. Yeah. But that's the thing. If you go to a team like Chelsea, though, everybody, you look around, there's so much talent there. So
exactly.
You get the best of everything.
Absolutely, he's a good player.
Breakout player of the season, like a breakout player, like nobody saw coming, basically.
A player I could see having a big season also. Breakout is maybe breakout is the right word. Last year he did not have the big season that they were expecting on him. I'm sticking with Brighton again. Maybe I'm watching too much Brighton, so I'm seeing,
Maybe.
that could be a problem. But Jorginho Ruta, is a player that I could see having a big season. He took the big number 10 for them this season as well. They have reshuffled their numbers. He took the number 10. He's starting their preseason games as their main number 9. Sometimes, most of it like in their recent friendly at least. And last season he got an injury in the second half of the season. I think he was having a very good season until that injury hit him.
Yeah, before the injury, he was really doing well. Yeah,
he was doing well. So at the end, it did not look like he had a good season because it was very short period. So he's a very talented player. He has been in the Premier League in the past with Leeds, and he has never really broken out with the he was there. He joined Leeds and then they get relegated. Then he played in the Championship, had some good seasons there, but I think paid the money to bring him in last season. So he's a player I am quite excited about. And he has been in and out of my FPL team because I'm expecting something big from him. Maybe I'm watching too much Brighton and I'm not watching the other team. Possibly. But he's a player that I really rate from what I see in the preseasons and all that. Yeah.
What's his best position? Is it as a striker or as a 10?
I would say he's a striker, but in a striker playing as a 2 striker. Like if you play with 2 strikers, then he has to be free a little bit.
Supporting striker, basically.
Yes, he's not a natural number 10, but he's not a natural number 9. So he's a 9.5 in a little bit, in a way. It's different from the 9.5.
Like a Zexy.
Yeah. So he's not. Yeah, you don't expect him to, but you never know. Let's see what happens. How about you? Who is your?
My breakout player. I'm caught in between two candidates. The first one is Eze. Depending, I think Arsenal were in for him, but I don't know what was going on there. And now it seems like Spurs are in for him. If he goes to Spurs, Maddison is probably injured, I think, with an ACL injury, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be out for a while. If he goes to Spurs, man, I think he'll do well there. I think he'll do really well in Spurs, at Spurs. The other one is, who did I even say? I think probably I've forgotten. I think I forgot who the second one was. Just gotta... Yeah, but anyways, let's just go with Eze for now. I feel like the other one is Ekitike.
Ekitike, my striker.
Yeah, when we were linked with him, I was like, I started seeing the clips and stuff like that. Apparently, he's a Man U fan.
We are taking all the Man U fans, huh?
I know, man. Kekas is also a Man U fan, but it is what it is. It's fine. But you guys always do well with strikers that are technical. That's why Isak, if he comes, I don't know how you manage with having Ekitike and Isak. If Isak was there, it would be the same thing. I kind of feel like they are probably the same players at different points in their career. But Ekitike might just surprise a few people and actually do well in his first season than actually like subsequent seasons. So those two are like my breakout player of the season. The next one is most improved player.
Most improved player. That's a difficult one.
It is. Yeah. I mean, probably a player that you expect to have been doing well all this while, and he hasn't really, hit the mark that he's supposed to. But you feel like this season is going to be a season where he levels up basically.
If maybe I will look at a player who was underwhelming last season. A few players that I would say were quite underwhelming in their performances, for different reasons. To be honest, one of them was Grealish at City because he was not playing the way he will want to play, and Pep, the way Pep wanted them to play. Like I was watching a tactical clip sometime back, and the way Pep was forcing these players to, like in training, and he was forcing them always to play in a different way to their own natural qualities. But of course,
stifling them basically, yes, stifling them. Like,
exactly. And Grealish is a player who needs freedom, and I believe when he goes to Everton with David Moyes, I think he will give him that freedom and then give him the protection at the back for him to thrive. So he's a player that I would say I would expect big season from him. I would expect a very improved, like much better than what he has been doing for Man City in the past. Another player is Kudus. I know he was good But
Yeah, but he kind of dropped off last
that
season.
he really dropped off last
Yeah,
season.
the whole
Because
team basically.
if we talk about the money, you can say, okay, kudos, they pay a lot of money for him, but because of the potential, it's not because of what he did last season. Because of the potential they see he could reach, that's why they pay the money. So he's a player I would expect to have a significant improvement based on what he has last season. So yeah, these two. How about you?
That's going to be difficult, man. I don't know. I don't think I have a candidate, but a good shot will be like who? Let's see. Maybe Mitoma. I don't know why we're just calling Brighton players, but last season he didn't have a really good season. I don't know whether it was injury, whatever it was, but I feel like didn't Brighton like reject about I don't know how many million from Saudi, for him?
Yeah.
I mean, they must really believe, that he's a much better player than because Brighton is a selling club basically, right? So I feel like he might be one of those ones where they rely on to step up this season. Since they lost João Pedro, so he might be one of those players that has to step up this season because he's been doing well. The season before, I think he had a good season. Last season wasn't too much; it was kind of like forgettable. But he's at that age now where he needs to like really step up. I feel like, yeah. I think that should be enough for our
That's
watch.
enough.
So we'll probably come back and see how well we do with these predictions. But so top five. Who are your top five? Like, what's your top five for the season going to be like?
Top five for me. Like I don't know the order, but I believe Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea.
Fifth. Yes.
Liverpool,
Start with
fifth. But it's fifth is too bad. I gotta say, I would throw you guys there. I would throw you guys at fifth. I would expect an improvement.
Okay, I'll take it.
I would expect an improvement. So
I would think that.
And then I would say Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. I'm putting Spurs and putting you guys in fifth. Yeah, I'll go that way.
So Man U and who? Fourth?
Man U. I'll go Chelsea. Fourth.
Okay.
I'll go Man City third. And I would say Arsenal or Liverpool was or second. I would not choose one.
You don't want to choose yourself as well. That's basically like almost similar to last season because last season was Man City third, Arsenal second, Liverpool first, and then Chelsea fourth.
Improve the way they needed to improve, and Liverpool from winning the league, like they have bought very well. Like it depends on how they start the season, right? If they start very well this season, and then players get into the groove, and then they have that chemistry immediately, then it's going to be a problem for clubs, to be honest, especially if Isaac's joined. Like you're asking like why Isaac and Ekatike, how you do. But again, we need at least two. We need two strikers. At least.
Yeah.
Last season we had Darwin, we had Jota as well, and of course Diaz was also playing there. And we don't have the luxury of all these players anymore. So I think we need reinforcement in the attacking position. So if we get Isaac, it's just the quality is going to be different level compared to what we have in the past. So which is going to be scary, to be honest.
We are going to form a coalition and stop that from happening. You can allow you can allow that to happen, man. But yeah, my prediction. I think also we are going to finish fifth. That's my prediction. Man U at fifth. I mean, it's going to be a lot to climb 10 places to fifth, but I think with the quality that we got in Mbomo and Cunha, we should be able to pretty much
get closer.
Get fifth. If we get Baleba, man, I'm talking about fourth. Honestly, I don't care who's there. I'm taking that fourth position. But yeah, Man U fifth. Fourth, I'm thinking Man City. Fourth. Third, Arsenal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Arsenal have just solved their problem. Their biggest problem they have had for the last 3 seasons.
If they don't change the way that player that they bought operates, if they don't cater to him, it's gonna be.
Who is that?
Jokeres. If they don't feed him how he's supposed to be fed,
I think they will. I think they will play to his strengths. And I expect him to be a very good FPL asset at some point because of everything.
At some point,
he
yeah.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
mean,
thinking.
yeah, I have to see it though. I'm not still. It's gonna take a while for him to really get used to the Premier League. Maybe
Mm.
middle of the season, maybe. It's
Yeah,
gonna be. This is not Portugal, man. This is Premier League. So
yeah,
you
very
have to, yeah, yeah, man. So I think that this time around, this is gonna be second and first is gonna be the issue. If you guys get Isaac, you guys are gonna finish first. There's no doubt about it. I don't think there's any competition basically. If you don't, I predict for you guys to finish second and then Chelsea finish first.
Wow, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, my,
they are very
my wife,
dangerous.
my
They
wife
are very
prediction is
dangerous.
Chelsea finish first. You remember
Yeah,
we were
quite.
talking about this, that they might
Uh,
struggle or with the Club World Cup. They
uh,
have depth. That's their superpower. They have
uh,
depth in
uh,
almost every position. They've bought like a backup. Like, so they have
uh,
two good starting
mhm.
11s.
Yeah, but the
And
question for them is the defense, right? Though, what do you feel about their defense? Because now they have lost one of their best defenders. That is
Colwell,
what Colwell is out, and then the
they have.
goalkeeping situation is not something that anybody is convinced ever about. Sanchez, but like you say, they have the depth of the squad, and their midfield is really stocked. I think the kids have grown. Like xale yi mag nañ, ñoom Caicedo,
Yeah, guys, yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
So
And they have backups, man. That's the thing. So in midfield, they have like 3 or 4 players that they are not even playing right now. That Santos guy is there and he's really good. He's in the bench. Lavia is injured, but he's also in the bench. So, man.
But I find it so difficult to manage that as a manager. Of course I'm not a manager, but I think it is going to be a problem for the manager to keep everyone happy. I know he did it last season because they were in the conference league.
They had conference league.
But this is the Champions League we are talking about. Like if you go to the Champions League and then you start saying, okay, this is the half team for the Champions League and this is the team for the Premier League, like you're not gonna last long in the Champions League. Trust me. You can do that in the and get by with it in the Europa Conference League. Even in the Europa, you cannot do that. But the Champions League, definitely you're not gonna do that because
you have to play your best. You have to play your best players.
And the format now, how is it? Is the top 8 teams qualify, and then you can play any team. You can play any good team at the end of the day. So I don't think they can do that thing they did in the Conference League. So they have to use their best team in the Champions League as well. So
I feel like they're going to surprise a few people because now, like you said, Halle Magling, they are now adults. Now they've tasted victory. They've beaten the best team in the world in PSG convincingly. So I don't think they fear anybody now. For now, they're gonna have this chip on their shoulder that they feel like they can beat anybody in the Premier League, even Liverpool and Arsenal. So they're gonna be really like motivated to make a statement. And I feel this they will. That's my prediction. Yeah, this is their time to win it. Yeah. The 200 million pound midfield is going to finally win something the Premier League. So let's keep it moving now. Fan corner. We can talk about the transfers now. So Isak, what's happening with Isak now? I'm hearing so many news that he's not going to play for Newcastle again.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. What's going on?
Yeah, definitely. I had those things too. Because I'm not in the picture, so we don't get the context what is going on. I know people will say he's been but maybe there were some agreements with the club and all that. And whatever the case, it's not nice to see a player, getting to this point where he say, "I'm not gonna do this for the club," even though you have a contract to that club.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing that's a bit worrying because most of these players are doing it now where they have 2 or 3 year contracts, but they want to force a move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like the club doesn't want to sell, but they want to force a move. It's I don't know. Yeah,
exactly.
So.
But again, we are not in the sea or in the
we don't know what's going on.
We don't know what's going on and what was agreed, what was discussed, and all that. So, but again, it's not nice. I don't know. I expect him because of Liverpool have really dipped their hands into it. I would expect him to be a Liverpool player by the end of the transfer. And Isaac has done his bit to make sure that happens.
To
So
force a move,
I would expect him to be a Liverpool player at the end of the transfer window. But as a Liverpool fan too, we have been there where you expect something
Trent,
to happen.
he did the same thing, like something similar to you guys, not signing a contract,
Exactly.
Yeah, so you know how it feels, basically.
You know how you feel from the other end as well. And also, sometimes Liverpool have bid for like big money bids, and then these don't come through. Zubamendi is one, Caicedo is another one, even Lavia at Chelsea was another one. So, the good thing here is these players intend to come. Like Isaac, in his case, he want to come to Liverpool.
Dying to be there.
And those players, we never know where their intentions were until the end, and then they ended up not coming to Liverpool. So now it's more like the ball is in Liverpool's court in this situation, not in the player's court. If Newcastle can agree terms with Liverpool, I would expect him to come to Liverpool. It's exciting, but it's like I told you last time. It's an uncharted territory. We're not used to this. So
all these signings, So about the signings, like, okay, you have all these. How many signings? Like 4 signings or 5?
Yeah, we. If you ask Mamadashvili, it's more than 4, to be honest. We have signed a lot of players. Let's say that because we have signed 3 new goalkeepers. But of course, maybe you don't tend to talk about those other goalkeepers because they are 3rd choice or 4th choice goalkeeping and stuff like that. We don't tend to that. But yeah, we signed there, and then we signed a young striker who we are on buying with Arsenal, a very good young striker playing for Salford last season, Gary Neville's team, scoring a lot of goals. We bought him, and then we have the big ones, that is Iketike, Florian Wirtz, left back Kerkes, and then right back Frimpong, and then we are looking at adding 2 central defenders, Gehi and Leone from Italy, 18-year-old defender, because we also sold some defenders. We lost what's his name, Cancer, and Joe Gomez is not his injury is not going away. He's currently injured. So yeah, that it's interesting. It's interesting a lot. But that's why I say we are in a transition. That's why we don't know what to expect. But if we click quickly, then we're gonna cause a problem in the Premier League. That's what I'm hoping for the club to click. So, but if you look at the signings, I think, of course, Florian Wirtz is the most exciting one. And if you watch him play, you are so into it because he's so good. His football brain, his football skill set is really, really good. Ekatike to impress in the League Cup, in the Community Shield. Even though we lost that one, Frimpong, likewise, Kerkes, we know what these players can offer. We have seen them in the Premier League, in the Champions League. Good players we signed, and they go to Amano Desfili, she signed last season, but joined us this summer. So good signings added to the quality that we already had, because most of the quality players we have from last season, even though they are 1 year older, Salah, Van Dijk, they are still there. You have Ibu Konates and the grabbing back who grew last season, Soboslai. It's quite a strong team, but it's not as balanced as I would like it going into the season. But I believe when we get these 2 central defenders in, it will be much more balanced than especially Isaac, these 3 players that are close that they are talking about right now. I think the team will be in a very, very good position. So I'll be happy if we end the season with those 3 players coming in, to be honest.
So overall, what has your preseason performance been like? The coach has tested out different formation, different players. I mean, in different positions, and seen that okay, this is close enough to what I'm going to actually go with in game week 1. I guess you guys are okay with the overall preseason.
Yeah, the preseason has been mixed, and of course, the season is going to start without grabbing back. He's suspended for the first game of the season, first 2 games of the season, which is also a problem because we know when it comes to playing that position, he is only somebody we trust right now. I don't think the coach trusts enough Endo to start him. He's a good coming to close games, at the end of the games. But he's not a player that the coach trusts to start as his holding midfielder. And if you don't start him there, who plays there? Curtis Jones, who is not a defensive midfielder by nature. Soboslai, who's not a defensive name. McAllister, who's not. But they can do a job. I think for the first game, we can get by it. And hopefully when grabbing back comes back in, we will be fine. So the preseason was not all flashy. Salah only scored one goal. If you look at it, we lost 1 or 2 games in the preseason. One game, I think, we lost a game against AC Milan, and then we were seeing some issues defensively in transition and all those things. But again, it was preseason. You don't take too much from preseason. You just prepare and then hoping you are ready for the first game of the season. Of course, we lost the Community Shield as well, which was not. I think Palace deserve to win. If you watch the game, the whole game, they deserve their win. It's not like Liverpool. Liverpool deserve to win that game. So yeah, there are some issues, but I think it was just a matter of because it was preseason. So I'm not so worried by the preseason form. Yeah.
So what's the final what's the mood in the squad right now, in the team? Like, what's the general feeling of the mood? Okay, you know what, we're ready for the season. This is what expectations we have. So what are the players feeling?
Again, we are just coming from a defeat in the League Cup, in the Community Shield. I keep saying League Cup. So if you hear what players are saying, like Van Dijk, or we have a week to be ready for the first game of the season. So it was not like, we are ready. They still a work in progress. I would say they are confident. I would like to think that they are confident after winning the league and adding the quality of players they have added. I think they will be feeling confident. Players like Salah, players like Van Dijk, they kind of feel that way with the new players coming in because they know they are at the other side of their careers. So having these young players, energetic, very good young players coming in to help move them forward, I think they are quite happy with that, and so the mood is good, positive. We are positive that we will be there again.
I mean, it's good that you guys didn't win it because apparently there's some kind of superstition that said that if you win the Community Shield,
you never win the league.
I don't think anybody has actually. Maybe Man City has just once. Most likely, if you win the Community Shield, you don't really win the league. So you guys still have a chance now to win the league anyway. So yeah,
exactly. Let's talk about United.
Man U, man. I mean, this is one of the best windows we've had so far in a long time because we brought in much needed goal scoring prowess with adding 2 really key attackers in our team. Last season, man, it was just Garnacho. We didn't have many options. So you're going into a game like you don't have any hope that you're going to score goals because teams just know that we were toothless up front. Højlund was struggling. I mean, now we have Cunha, Mbomo, and you have Sesko, who most of these top teams have been following for the last few years. He's finally joined us, even though he's more like a project signing. But at least him coming in, it's different from Højlund in a way that he's a young striker with promise, but also he has 2 like matured attackers actually, on either side, helping him to acclimatize quickly. So yeah, that's really good. So let me see. So we really improved from last season. Preseason was good in a way that, like, we saw what the coach has been working on, giving him time to actually, coach his players to actually do what he wants them to do, because his style of play is a bit particular. You have to play a particular style of play. So if you don't understand it, you can't do it. So last season they were struggling. This time around with preseason, we see what he's working on, which is good. We see the positives. But before I even get to that, we played like Premier League teams, which we had problems with last season. We won most of our games, apart from the final in Europa. The final against Premier League team, we lost. So the physicality, the tempo, everything was different when it comes to the Premier League, and that was, I think, the main target for this preseason. We played all apart from Fiorentina. Is it Fiorentina? Yeah, they was that's the only team that we played that's not in the Premier League. Did well, for most of these games. The best, I think, best game we played was against Bournemouth. Just like really played well in that game. The tempo was good. We were battling for all these balls, first and second balls. We were all over them. And they were even surprised. Even the coach, said that he feels like we really did well, which was good. But then the next game we saw some slight worries in the team. The main issue with our team is midfield. Casemiro is getting old now. He cannot cope with the intensity of the game. Sliding into tackles, doing last ditch tackles, reading the tempo is just too much for him in the with Premier League teams. Bruno is not a natural central midfielder. He's going to wander off into those 10 positions, and there's a gap. Casemiro cannot cover the gap. Ugarte, who's supposed to be a defensive midfielder, he is good when like defending in the front, front foot defending, basically like winning the ball high up and with the turnovers. But when it comes to actually, the back foot defending, he's not really good because you have to actually drive the ball out of the danger zone and into, the midfield. He's not really good at carrying the ball. He's good at actually, breaking up play and all these things and covering distance, but he's not good at actually carrying the ball. The one guy that we need that we've been linked to is Baleba, Brighton. Again, another 100 plus million.
You have 100 plus in your bank.
Signing.
That's what I was
saying. Well, we'll have to sell first, but we said this about Sesko. Before we even bought Sesko, we were saying, we have to sell, and then next thing.
But now that we put you in the edge with the Sesko comment, that will put you in the edge, wouldn't it?
No, we still have PSR. I don't think we have issues with PSR because Cunha's signing was from last financial year. It wasn't this year, so it's only Momo and Sesko now.
And that is how.
The problem we have is not we can't spend. It's cash flow that's our problem right now. It's a cash flow issue. If you listen to all these podcasts, Talk of the Devils, we need to sell to actually have cash up front to give, because most likely the Baleba deal is going to be installments. Let's say 3-4 years installment. Let's say he costs £100 million.
Yeah, it'll be 25. Right? Okay.
Yeah, you will need 25 the minimum to give to them. Yeah. Okay, so this is 25. Yeah. So that's the thing. So we need cash up front. We need to sell. We have 5 players. We call them, what do they even call them? The bomb squad, whatever. Rashford has gone to Barcelona on loan. His wages are with Barcelona now. I think we reduced them with Barcelona, so we're not paying his wages anymore. That's something for us to work with. We need to sell Garnacho to Chelsea. He has made it clear he doesn't want to go to any team apart from Chelsea, which puts us in a very uncompromising position, because Chelsea won 30 million for him, which is a bit low for his valuation, to be honest. I think 40 to 50 million. 40 to 50 million is fine. But anything we sell him for is pure profit, because we got him for like 500,000 or something like that. Pretty cheap. Anthony wants to go to Betis. They don't want to pay. They want him on loan again, even though he's done so much for them. That's the thing. We have to try to be a selling club now. We need to really put our foot down. But it depends. If you are a club that finished 15th, nobody's going to take you seriously when you're selling the players. If we had finished like first or second, obviously, if you come for our players, the minimum is going to be 30-40 million. So we don't really have much of a bargaining chip when it comes to our players, So
definitely, like us, we can sell people
you can sell anybody. You can even go and sell your 5th choice keeper for 20 million. Nobody's
I saw what is his name? This kid, Tyler Morton. He did not play any minute last year. We sold him to Lyon for 15 million.
Yeah, so I was who's going to complain? Nobody's going to complain.
Consta was 40 million.
Just won the league.
So to Leverkusen.
That's the thing. You have to do well in the league for people to take you seriously. That's the Man City have been doing it for years now. Any player that they sell is going to be for 50 plus million, basically. Yeah. So so we have to get to that point, and we have been selling really poorly the past few years. I don't think we've made much profit. Maybe the last one that I remember was
highly expensive, selling cheap. So that's not
so that's why now we're trying to buy really quality and like try to minimize the wages. Less than £200,000 a week for all these players that we are signing, which is good. At least we are starting somewhere. Next thing is to try to ship out these players. If the coach doesn't want them, try to get these players out as much as possible, because it's going to disrupt the mood in the training in the dressing room, which is what you don't want. And now, for the first time, it kind of feels like the mood is good. The players are actually happy playing with each other. They want to stay there longer. They want to hang around each other longer. You see all this. It's good for morale, because last season, man, the morale was on the floor. So we have to pick it up somehow. So Baleba, if we get him, he solves most of our problems. Even though we have a lot of midfielders, we cannot tell you which are the 2 best midfielders for this team. It's just always, okay, if you add this and this guy, Kobe and Bruno, this and this, it just doesn't work. And you're finding out that the one...
Kobe Mino, he has gone...
He's a good midfielder, but in a 2-man midfield for Amorim, he doesn't really work. if you pair him with Baleba, I guess it's better because he's like more of a controller. He's like a box to box. He's really good in the final third. But that covering of space and that defensive, part of his like defensive, like the type of defensive midfielder we need. He's not that type of player.
Not
He's a
that
good
type,
player
yeah.
though, if the coach develops him to be. But
Yeah.
when he's this ball winning, like dynamic midfield, it
Not
has
him.
to be natural. You cannot coach it into somebody. He has it has to be somebody who's really good at that,
Naturally.
who has those
Yeah.
attributes. It's not, but yeah. So
Yeah.
I feel like he's the guy, and I'm fingers crossed. I'm hoping we sign him because if we don't sign him this season, next season, I think it's going to be a bit difficult. Most of these players, like even your team, I think most of these big teams in Europe are going to come for him.
Looking at him.
So this is going to be our chance because nobody's looking for a defensive midfielder right now. Everybody's talking about something else, or it's here, there.
Strikers has been the
Strikers,
talk of
yeah,
the
exactly. So
strikers are now scarce in the market. You cannot even find a
yeah,
striker. You guys will have touched every
it's the
corner of
same.
the
Yeah,
world.
I'm telling you, Newcastle, we stole like 3 of their players. So, I mean, it's the same players that have been going around. Everybody's like, what's left? Because we really wanted Gyökeres, so he chose Arsenal, and then now we went for the one that's available. Even Ekitike, I don't think we're really serious about him. You guys just snapped him up like that. Even though I think he should have gone. To be honest, I think Newcastle should have given you guys Isaac.
They should have accepted that.
They take Ekitike, perfect for them. We go Sesko, so everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. Now it's like,
when Liverpool were buying Ekitike, like they said to Newcastle, which was
they came, yeah.
It was a bully. I don't like it, but it was a bully. They tell them, we want Isaac. If you're not selling Isaac, that time Newcastle have already bid for. I think they were bidding for Ekitike. Then we will get Ekitike from you guys. And if we get Ekitike from you guys, you're not gonna. You might lose Isaac and lose Ekitike. Like that kind of trend line. They give
I feel like
it was very.
Newcastle didn't really want Ekitike. They wanted to keep Isaac. They thought that if you guys go for Ekitike,
we will not come back.
Yeah, that's what that was. So
that's the mistake,
didn't
right?
work out for them. That's the mistake they made. Yeah, they didn't think, because I kind of feel sorry for them because they don't want to sell him. He's their best player. He's the one that got them to Champions League qualification. If you remove Isaac from that team, who's going to score the goals? So it's a bit sad that
any corner they are not getting. That is also the other problem, right?
That's a big thing. Yeah, all the targets. All the targets. It's so bad. I feel so bad for them, man. But yeah, like they feel like they are there, but they're not there yet. Like it takes years and years for you to build up that kind of reputation in Europe as like a team that everybody wants to play for. You just don't get up 1 or 2, 3 seasons, and you have to get a project, man. You have to be there for a while, build these players up, and you watch other teams come and take your players, and the players want to go and play for these big teams. So it's just what it is. Just you have to keep doing what you're doing, and then hopefully be consistent. And next thing you'll be the next Chelsea, and all these PSR. You just can't get up and buy a league or buy all these players. It's PSR is there to block you.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's it for the fan con. I think we've probably spoken about Man U and Liverpool for too long. Final segment, the preview basically. So yeah, what does our team look like? I think you start first and see what your FPL team actually looks like now. This is I'm sure it's going to change. I'm sure it's going to change for sure.
Yeah, I'm not set with the goalkeeping. I'm not set defensively. So I'm just trying to find the right balance at the end of the day. But of course, last time we discussed, I think I was on the camp of bench boosting early, and I am still in this camp of bench boosting. I don't think it's gonna change now. It's not gonna change this late now. I think I have got I got enough conviction for myself that the bench boost is gonna be the right play. From game week 1, I got enough conviction for me. In addition to the earlier point that I say about the why the bench boosting is gonna be important was like the hindrance it will cause you at the later stage of the season, and then you want to bench boost after you wild card, and I treat game week 1 like a wild card and all those things. And then whilst I'm also doing my drafts, we discussed a little bit, and I told you there's another opportunity here in terms of bench boosted. I'm gonna combine the bench boost and the free hit. So these two chips, they're gonna go quite early for me. Especially the free hit, of course, I don't want it to go early. But the way I am setting my team, it has to do mostly with how the fixtures stand, how the fixtures come. Like if you follow, if you follow me, or you will know very well that I am somebody who is very particular about home fixture versus away fixture. When teams are playing home, I tend to want to have players playing at home more often than not. And if you look at the bench boost, you will see there that at this stage, 100% of the team is home fixture. Everybody is playing at home. And what does that mean is, with the way the fixtures are set up, every team in game week 3, game week 1, everybody will play home. Game week 2, every team that play home will play away. And then game week 3, every team that played home in game week 1 will play home again. So this team, when you set it up for game week 3 as well, everybody will be playing at home.
At home,
so
yeah, that's
you
interesting.
get 11 players from those players. So basically, you will have players with good fixtures. The likes of Liverpool, even though they have an Arsenal at home, but it's not a fixture I would affiliate to play a Salah or somebody. You look at other teams like Chelsea, even Man United. They have that Burnley fixture in game week 3, the home fixture. Even though you have a home against Arsenal, which is difficult, but all these teams will play at home. So basically, if I play the bench boost in game week 1 and set up my team in a home dominant team, then game week 2, everybody's gonna be away. So I don't wanna pick an 11 of away players. So that's why I say that game week 2, I will use my free hit, and then the free hit will take care of that, and I get the best team possible for game week 3. So even if I won, game week 1 will be 100% home teams. Game week 2 will be 100% home teams. Game week 3 will be 100% home teams. Home players playing from home, which for me is a good thing.
That's a good strategy. Yeah, it's interesting.
The thing with home is not just based on my belief on home fixtures. I think the data also back that home teams tend to dominate. Players tend to do better at home than they do better away from home. Of course, there are anomalies, like there are
like Manu,
where a player does better away from home than they do away from home. But generally speaking, if you look at the data back to the last 7 years in the Premier League, which I have also checked before coming to this spot, I just try to do some basic numbers there. For example, I was just looking at FPL players who got 100 points at home compared to FPL players who got 100 points away from home every season. So in every single season for the last 8 seasons, like the players who get more home 100 points always almost double every single season. Like example, last season was 10 teams, 10 players got more than 100 points at home. Only 3 players got more than 100 points away from home. And then you look at that over the last 8 years, every single season is like this home fixture. It's like where players get most of their points. So that's where the points are. Basically, if you are looking for big hauls and that, it comes home. But of course, sometimes it comes away from home. Man United, Salah came there and scored a hat-trick and got a big haul. It can happen. So now abnormalities can happen, or like exceptions can happen. But on a general point of view, I tend to see points coming more at home than away from home. So the bench boost is kind of taking that into context. It's taking that into the picture rather. So I'm picking every player that is trying to make the most balanced team, the best team coming from there. So my team is looking like this at the moment. You have Cells, who is a home, like a player at home to Brentford, and the goalkeeper. The second, my second choice goalkeeper is a rogue one. I would say nobody will have this keeper. I suppose. Is Bizot, M Bizot. He is the Aston Villa second choice goalkeeper. Why am I going for the Aston Villa second choice goalkeeper? Because Martinez is suspended for the first.
He's suspended for the first 3 games, yeah.
Exactly. So if Martinez is suspended, then the second choice goalkeeper will be the one in goal. And Aston Villa have a good defensive team, I feel. Even though their fixture against Newcastle, it's not going to be easy. But also taking into account, Newcastle right now, they have the problem of who's going to score their goals.
Scoring, yeah.
It's not going to be easy.
Not a potent attack right now. Yeah.
Exactly. So I want to take that opportunity because nobody's going to go there. And then kind of a differential pick because he's kind of a 0 point something percent. He will be on my bench. And basically, I only need him for this game week. And then, I will be free hit next week. And then the next subsequent game week, sales will start going forward. And then eventually, whenever I wildcard, I don't need this goalkeeper again. So it's not going to be a problem in a way. And then you look at the defense. I have currently Frimpong. I've been juggling around Frimpong, Van Dijk, Ibu Konate for Liverpool. Which defender I will pick? That one will go down to the wire. Who it will be? But Frimpong, I believe he will start because of Bradley is injured right now. So that gives him a, and because he's the most attacking of the ones that I'm considering. So that's why I have him right now. Van der Ven at Tottenham. He's a defender, very cheap, 4.5, playing at home to Burnley. Best fixture, I think Tottenham have it. So you want to, take advantage of the Tottenham fixture. Fulham, Brighton, the keeper. We talked about him last time. I watch him. I've been watching a lot of Brighton. So maybe that's why they are seeing all these players. He scored in their most recent friendly. He was like in the 6 yards scoring a goal. If you have this kind of player in your team and he's like looking at their team, I think he would start. I kind of have a feeling what team they will start with in the first game of the season, and I believe he will start. So he's the other defender, and then you have Dogu from United. When I take advantage of that Burnley fixture coming up next for United, so I try to go with Dogu. And as a bench booster for Man United against Arsenal, it's not ideal, but don't end of the world. Dogu is flying. I have watched his preseason games. I see how much he is going.
Very good preseason, yeah.
Every time he's in the box, so I'm quite.
He's a winger. It's like basically a winger, basically.
Basically, a winger, exactly. And now 4.5 million defender, so you have to do that. Rodon at Leeds United defender 4.0. I just want to have one 4.0. He is their mainstay. He played every single minute of last season for them in the championship, so you would expect him to start. And he's kind of a threat, and he can win like this. What they call DEFCON. Defensive points because he wins a lot of headers and clearance and those kind of things. He does those things. So yeah, it's not bad for a bench booster as well. And then in the midfield you have Kudus, Salah, Yanko Minte, Palmer, and Ruta. Like I say, so Salah my player of the season. Minte and Jorginho, like I say, I expect Minte to have a big season. Jorginho too, I'm expecting, like, he's also out of position. He could play as a striker. So I'm impressed. I'm quite happy with that. So with the two big boys, that is Palmer and Salah, who are playing at home as well. Kudus is the only one you will feel like he's not settled yet, but I really rate him as a player. So,
he did well. Against PSG.
Exactly. So I would expect him, and he was playing as a striker. They played
as a striker,
yeah. Top, right? Yeah. So another out of position player. Then up top you have Eketike. You spoke about him. João Pedro, your young player of the season, and Chris Woods, who had a wonderful season last season. So everything home players, bench boost. You got thoughts? Let me hear. Man, I go blast out my team.
I think the team is good. If it's a bench boost, like there's a good balance between your starting 11 and the bench. So like, or you put like only like bench fodders on your bench. These are all players that you can say that are going to start on your bench, which is the most important thing for bench boost.
Exactly.
The keeper, Frimpong. If it's that's the thing. But the only thing I have is like these new players, Ekitike and Frimpong. Like, you know them actually. They're in your team, so you know what the coach is going to go with and how they will adapt to the Premier League. But these are they are the only two like slight unknowns that I will say that you never know. But the rest, Kudus, he's been in the Premier League before, so he's there, and he's probably one of their. Right now that Madison is even away, even if he doesn't play as a striker, he's going to play as a 10. I think he's the only option right now as a 10. So he's going to be very influential in this Spurs team. Minte, obviously, I think if he has a good start, it's going to be good for him. Palmer, Salah, that's fine. You need to have a Spurs defender, which you do have. Wood, man, it's difficult to pick him, but he's going to continue scoring goals, huh? This guy, man.
And he's on penalties, right? He's on penalties.
Every time I see Wood, I was like, this guy again. It's like, but you have to respect him, man. So yeah, the only issue I will have is like Ekitike and Frimpong, but
and Ekitike too, like you say,
if you go there early, that's the thing. If Isaac comes, but you don't, it doesn't need to be there for this long, right? You might just transfer.
Yeah. But at least like game week 3, I'm watching. But game week 3 is also away to Arsenal, so I don't mind playing 2 Liverpools and benching one. So if Isaac comes, maybe I will not mind benching him, even though it will be a lot of money. Or I don't mind transferring him out.
Get somebody else.
Bringing another striker at that stage.
Yeah. I think it's a good team. Yeah, but like you said, it's the beginning of the season, man. So you don't know where the chips are gonna lie. Right now, you just want players that are gonna play, and you never know. Somebody might play the 3 or 4 preseason games, and then they get benched in game week 1. I mean,
and that's what I hate most about my bench boost.
Yeah, man.
If any of these players don't start, it will really hurt me.
That's the thing about
Because
bench boosting game
I've
week
done my
one. Yeah,
calculation very
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Try
yeah.
to get the players that I believe they will start the game.
I remember it happened last season. There
Uh,
were players that were doing really well in preseason. Next thing you know, they didn't start in the game week one, and that was it. But yeah, that's the only risk for bench boosting
so
game week
maybe
one.
Frimpong, I will take him out and you just put Van Dijk there to be on the safe side. Van
Get
Dijk will start.
somebody who's definitely gonna start
Van Dijk
because
will start
he's
100%.
6 million, so he's not cheap, anyways.
It's not cheap. It's not
He's
cheap.
not
Yeah,
cheap.
I
Yeah.
would. I think I would just do that and go with Van Dijk. Van Dijk is a threat on set pieces too. He could score in
So
corners.
why did you start with him? Is it because he's an attacking threat? Is it
Yeah,
a
he's an
fullback?
attacking threat, and Bradley is injured right now. He was not available.
Ah,
We have
okay, I
only two
see.
right backs. So two right
Yeah,
backs we have.
I mean, so
Frimpong
he
and
has to
Bradley.
play. He has to
If
play. I mean,
if Bradley was fit, I expect Bradley to start. I was expecting
Mm.
Bradley to be our first choice, and then Frimpong will try to force his way into
get
the
into the
team.
team. Okay.
Yeah, but now Bradley was injured in the last two games for our preseason games. Then I'm not so confident that he will play. And even if he's fit now, I think coach will just stick with Frimpong. He has had two good games in the preseason. The one he played in Japan here, he got that wonderful assist, and the one he scored against Crystal Palace, he scored the second goal in the game.
I mean, if your gut is telling you to go with him, I think start with him. I don't think right now he's pretty much locked. Your the other center back, I mean the right back is injured, so he's gonna play. So yeah, I don't think it's a problem. Yeah. If you because you never know, man. Your gut can tell you that go with him and he bags a brace or something like that in his first game. You never know, man. He's an attacking fullback anyway, so
He's attacking.
yeah, it's a good team. I don't have any issues.
And it's a home fixture at the end of the day. It's not the difficult fixture
Yeah.
where we are playing Man City or Arsenal,
Yeah.
and then you are expecting thinking about maybe this will be a problem for us
Conceding and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So I will expect him to start. But I will listen to the press conference of the coach. Liverpool play, of course, we open the season. Today is the press conference, actually. We open the season on Friday. The season is starting Friday, not Saturday.
Yeah, Friday. I know. I was just looking at it today. I was like, oh, okay, I guess. Let's quickly go through my team. My problem is I had two keepers, so I transferred these keepers. Man, I brought in two keepers and then they were flagged and I had to change it again. So I had who did I have? I had your former keeper.
Yeah.
Keller, he was the one that was there, but he's flagged. I think he's not fully fit yet, but he was my first choice. But Sales is also a good option, so I don't mind him. I have Sales in goal. I have Cucurella. Cucurella, man, I don't know why people are sleeping on him. He plays for Chelsea, but he's not really a defender. He's a defender, he's a fullback, but he's all over the pitch. He pops up everywhere. so you see him in the box so many times, taking shots and stuff like that. So, like, he finished up last season, and with the preseason that they have been playing, he's also doing the same, like this kind of free role type of position that he's taking up. So I feel like he's gonna grow into this role. He's gonna have a lot of contributions, assists, goals here and there. So yeah, he is definitely somebody who's gonna be a lock in my team for now. Van der Ven, you already have him. Reinildo, like shout out to Sonny, he put me onto this guy. I think I've seen him play for Atletico Madrid a few times, but I think he's like very underrated for this team.
Yeah, they got him from Atletico, right? Atletico
Madrid. Yeah, he's a good player. So I think I'm gonna take his word on that and say that let me go start him. And he's also cheap to like 4 million, so it's easy to probably replace. I also have Esteve, who's also in everybody's
yeah, I see him everywhere.
everybody's template.
I've not bought into that one, but I've seen him. Yeah,
that's the thing. So for me, like, my strategy going into FPL, right? I want to have one of the most template teams I can have, barring a few, one or two, what do you call it again? Differentials here and there, And once I actually get moving, I will try and get to the next template quicker. So this season, I'm trying to play the wildcard as soon as possible, like game week 4, most likely. I'm gonna bench boost in game week 2. Like if this team starts, I see how it is. Let me just go through the team first, and then you can see if it starts well. Like I would make 1 or 2 transfers, and then I bench boost in one transfer, and then bench boost in game week 2. That's my plan. And game week 3, maybe do another transfer. Most likely, if I don't have to, then that's fine. But probably wildcard in game week 4 or 5. If we already settled on it, or like a new template. So hope the template doesn't change too much. So Cucurella, Van de Ven, and then Reinildo, and then Esteve, and then Dogu. Obviously, I think Dogu's going to have a big season. I think I mentioned, you asked me this about him, and I said, yeah, he seems to understand the role much better now of this wing back role, and he's always in the box. He's always there, like attacking the spaces. So I'm expecting much from him. Palmer, Gakpo, Njai, and then Salah. So Njai, I think he's the one. He's Everton. He's the one that's on like the penalties, right? He's basically, I think, they're striker right now with Beto. So I'm expecting good things from him. He's a good player. He's really a good player. I was impressed when we played with them. I think he scored one of the goals. So he's been really impressive. He's a very good quality player. Gakpo, I'm not so sure on him right now. I might change it to somebody else. I haven't decided yet. But I've been impressed with him. He seems to have had a really good preseason. And I always wanted to have a second. It was Verts, but then Verts is new. I don't want to, I'm sure I'll see him in a lot of teams. He's also solid. He's a good player, but I just feel like Gakpo might have a better output so far. But I might change it. You never know. I just might change it, So, yeah. I have João Pedro, who's going to be, I think he's really one of my top strikers that I predict to have a really good season. The only problem with him is minutes. He's always really transferred in 68 minutes or so. So Watkins, I think, is a good start. They haven't Aston Villa haven't really bought any new players or changed their team drastically. So I think he's also doing good in preseason. I think they might stick with him and he might have a really fast start to the season. And then Welbeck. I'm not sure Welbeck. I followed one or two of his games. I think he scored a few, but I'm not sure if he continued his form in preseason. So
he scored 4 goals all in one game, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if it's. Yeah, let's see. But I think now he's going to be on pens.
I don't think his minutes are nailed. From watching.
That's the problem. That's the only problem with him in my team. I don't know who else to get. I want 3 strikers basically. So because we all know goals, in the starting of the season is a bit somehow. So I have Dubravka as a second keeper. He's also flagged. I don't think he's fully fit yet. So I think that's it. So and then Minte has my fifth.
I will get it at some point.
Yeah. So yeah, this is my team. My starting Game Week 1 team. I might change 1 or 2. Like Gakpo is also another one. Gakpo and Welbeck are the 2 that I feel like might change depending. I might get somebody more expensive for Gakpo and then downgrade Welbeck to somebody else and then upgrade Gakpo. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
No, it's a solid team. I think defensively because you are not in the bench boost camp, so I think the 11 is very solid. And even the bench is just
Esteve, man. Yeah, the bench is
just Esteve, exactly. And I think eventually at some stage in this season, this team will not be bad for bench boost as well. Because of course it's gonna be single game week for everyone. So whenever Burnley have a good home fixture, then Esteve and Dubravka will become good for you for bench boost. And if you look at their fixtures, I think Burnley, they will have a good fixture somewhere down the line. For example, they have Sunderland in game week 2. If you want to go
that's I think that's perfect to bench boost, to be honest.
That's a possibility, because depends on you should check, of course, the fixtures of all the other players. So it's good. I think it's a solid team. 2 names, what's it? Jai and Watkins. Is that just those 2? These are the 2 players that have been quite common in teams. And
I mean, Jai is common in teams. Really?
He was initially, but now maybe
he was initially. I don't know what happened.
Now things have gone down a bit. But Watkins, you can see him in every team. He's a player that I don't have, and I'm sure if he do well, he will. But he's a very good pick. He's a very good pick. Yeah, Gakpo. You talk about Gakpo.
I'm still not sold. I just have a feeling for him. It's just like more of a feeling. I feel like he's going to do well, but
he and Ekitike. If I'm going to change Ekitike into another striker, Gakpo will gonna come into my team for me personally. If I want to have 3rd Liverpool attacker, I think he and Ekitike were very close, and Gakpo. I think when it comes to minutes, he seems to be more certain. I think he will get the minutes. Last season, he did not start the season because of course, there was Luis Diaz. Once he get into the team, he was not going out. Of course, I have my reservations for him as a player sometimes, as a Liverpool fan. But as an FPL asset, last year he was a striker, so that was the problem why he was not an asset. He was not a FPL pick. But this season he has been withdrawn
He's a
into midfield
midfielder,
as a midfielder, and he gets in the goals. He definitely does. He will get in the goals. He will get some braces here and there.
I think he's a
And
good
get some,
finisher. Yeah, he's a good
yeah,
finisher.
good finisher. He can shoot from range. He can also cross. He can get assists. So his numbers are usually good. I believe he's a very good player. It's just what I expect from him as a fan. Sometimes that kind of cloud the judgment. But as an FPL pick, I think he's very good. So he's somebody I can have. I might start the season with. If I don't start with Eketike, definitely you will see Gapo in my team. So yeah, I think it's a solid team, honestly. Yeah, just Welbeck, you have to address that problem.
Yeah, that's the one that I would not be sure of. But we will have to see who I bring in. I want somebody who's starting. I don't want somebody who looks nice and you can
Strand Lausen is an option. 5.5 million. Everton to their strikers, but you don't know who's gonna start. Is it gonna be Beto or is it gonna be the new guy who came? So you don't know. So I think Strand Larsen 6.5. For me, he's the best 6.5 million striker. Yes, the first game they play Man City. First game is Man City at home. But considering the season he had last season, now Cunha is not there. Strikers, like I who said it? I think it was Ben Crellin. Ben Crellin. I think he has Strand Larsen in his team. I was watching his team selection video. So they asked him like this question. Now Cunha has gone, the quality of Wolves has dropped and all that. So will you be worried as an FPL player to have Strand Larsen in your team? He said, of course, if I was a Wolves fan, I'll be worried with those players going. But for strikers, it does not really matter if you are in a good team or you are in a bad team. If you are a good goal scorer, you will get your chances and you will score. Yeah. Even the team can go down, but the strikers will always.
But you might not win, or you might not win games, but you will score goals.
But the striker will do their job, and that is the thing with him. So he's their main man. He will probably be on penalties now.
Penalties too, yeah, that's true. That's true.
So for me, he's the best 6.5 million.
Yeah, I might just look at him and if let me see how much minutes Welbeck. But Welbeck's my only worry, to be honest, in this team. But
and even if again you have Minte on your bench. I would rather start Minte. Of course, again, another bias from my point of view, but I would rather start Minte
than Welbeck. And then see what happens in game week 2.
Exactly. And exactly. Even if you have Strand Larsen, for example, you don't want to start him against Man City, you can bench him.
Yeah.
And then when he gets the good fixtures, if you look at Wolves where their fixtures,
game week 2,
after
who do they play game week
Everton, they play Bournemouth and then they play Everton. So they have some nice fixtures, So
Bournemouth away is not that bad, though. I mean, yeah.
Exactly. Bournemouth they are in transition.
Man City,
Bournemouth they are in transition. Yeah. And then after that, Everton at home. So I don't hate that. But yeah.
Sweet. That's we definitely we feel good about our teams right now. We are almost there. I'm sure these teams are most of the players that we have a bit template, and that's what you want. You want a mix of template and 1 or 2 picks where you actually really thought about it.
That's why I worried about Watkins, because he's a template pick right now. So if he explodes, he's gonna affect.
You will have to find a way to be.
So like you say, template is quite important.
Yeah.
He's the one who can hurt me badly, honestly.
Yeah. All right, man. So it's been a long pod. So this is the first game week. We have a lot to cover. We had a lot to cover, so we really covered it. So which is good. So guys, good luck to everybody. I think we'll probably put code to the mini league soon, so that we can share that as soon as possible. I will put it on the description below, so you look out for that, so you can join the league code for the mini league Kotu Classic.
But let me just give you the code of the league. Yeah, let's just say it.
We can say it, and then definitely.
Yeah, unfortunately, we should have done that, to be honest.
League code.
League code. Where is it? Give me a second. See here, right here. The league code is I lost now. Of the league. All right, we do that later.
We can just put it. I'll put it in the description so everybody can see it. So yeah. All right, guys. So new FPL season. Get to drafting those teams, and we catch you guys in the next one. Gaming 2 preview.
Uh,
All the best, guys.
all the
All
best.
right. Bye.